Hi, I'm the Red Shirt Lady, and I'm going to make a green bean casserole from scratch, which means not using cream of mushroom soup. And the reason is, it's not any cheaper, but it tastes much better. You can really taste the mushrooms, and there aren't as many preservatives such as MSG. So I'm going to start with, you have to have something to saute your mushrooms in that has some flavor since you're not using the soup. I'm going to use some bacon grease, about 1/4 cup. You can use butter. If you just use oil, that's fine, but it's not going to add much flavor. I'm putting 8 ounces of sliced mushrooms in. They weren't much different than the other in price. And I'm going to saute those until they shrink down quite a bit. So our mushrooms have sauteed enough, and now I'm going to make a roux and then basically make a gravy. Once you learn how to do this, then you don't need to buy any of those cream of mushroom, cream of chicken, or any of those kind of soups. This is about 2 tablespoons of flour. You want to coat whatever you're sauteing and use up most, if not all, of the moisture that's in the bottom. Then you know that you have enough. To that, I'm going to add milk a little bit at a time and let it thicken up. There's some on the mushrooms as well as in the pan. And then add a little bit more until it's the consistency that I want. It's already getting kind of pasty, so we want to add some more. Now I realize I'm not making this totally from scratch if I'm using French fried onions. But if you do want to make it totally from scratch, you can cut up an onion and put it in with your mushrooms and saute it, and that way get the onion flavor but not have the crunch on top. And then for the crunch on top, you could put slivered almonds. So that's another option. But I'm going to use the French fried onions this time because my family likes them. Actually, one time I didn't have them, and I had onion rings in the freezer. I put those in the oven, chopped them up, put them on top. It was actually better than these French fried onions. Okay, this is about there, and if you notice, it's kind of the color of cream of mushroom soup that you buy in a can, but it's going to have a lot more mushroom flavor. Alright. And you can either add your spices to this or to the pan. I'm going to go ahead and add them to the pan. I've got 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, a teaspoon of garlic powder, and a teaspoon of salt, because there is salt in my Worcestershire sauce, which I'm going to put about 1/4 cup in. Okay. This is about thick enough, and it's going to thicken too as it cools after you cook it. So I'm going to add that to what's in here. I'm going to add about 1/2 of this box. Mix that up. You bake that in the oven, 350, for about 1/2 hour till it's nice and bubbly. And like I said, there is flour still coating some of those mushrooms, so it is going to thicken up. And then you take it out, put the rest of the French fried onions on top, and bake it for another 5 minutes. And look how you can see those big mushroom pieces. If you like mushrooms, this is going to be much better.